Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, where we delve into the captivating chronicles of world history. Today we embark on a journey through time to explore the intricate and often contentious timeline of the formation of the modern state of Israel. From the genesis of the idea of Israel to the contemporary issues that continue to shape the region, we will navigate through the key events and prominent figures in the historical narrative. Our story begins nearly 2 millennia ago in the year 70 CE, when the Romans destroyed the Second Temple in Jerusalem, putting an end to the local Jewish state. This event is often seen as the catalyst for the Jewish diaspora, pivotal of the modern Jewish identity, as countless Jewish people were scattered far and wide. Although central of the modern Jewish identity, the idea of the Jewish diaspora is a concept that has been debated by historians and scholars, as it lacks concrete historical evidence. Historically, Jewish communities had already been established in various parts of the world well before the destruction of the Temple in 70 CE, arguing that more Jewish lived in the diaspora than in Israel. Judaism was actively engaged in proselytizing activities for centuries, and Jewish communities lived throughout the Mediterranean basin and beyond. In Rome, for example, the Jewish presence dates back to 161 BCE. Nonetheless, and it is important to understand the socio-political evolution of Judaism until the formation of Israel, all these different Jewish communities maintained their religious and cultural identity over the centuries while living in various parts of the world. This is visible above all in the varied Israeli population. Over the years, Israel's population grew through waves of immigration from various countries, including Europe, North Africa, the former Soviet Union, Ethiopia, and even India. These migrations brought about cultural and demographic changes to the nation. However, starting from the ancient Israelite and Hasmonean kingdoms, how did the concept of Israel as a national state for the Jewish people emerge in the modern era? In order to try to answer to this question, we have to fast forward to the late 19th century, where the Zionist movement emerged as a response to the scattered Jewish minorities in different parts of Europe. Visionaries like Theodor Herzl led this movement. In August 1897, Theodor Herzl convened the First Zionist Congress in Basel, Switzerland, advocating a national home for the Jewish people. After having considered places such as Uganda and Argentina, their aspiration was to return to the historical land of Israel, then under Ottoman rule. However, this vision encountered a significant challenge, as the land they aimed to reclaim was already home to Arab communities, igniting a fundamental question about competing territorial claims. The British government became embroiled in this matter through the Balfour Declaration of 1917. This declaration promised support for a national home for the Jewish people, while simultaneously affirming the protection of the rights of existing non-Jewish communities. Following the First World War, the League of Nations entrusted the British with a mandate to govern Palestine. This period saw a significant influx of Jewish immigrants from various regions, including Eastern Europe and Russia. These newcomers played a pivotal role in shaping the region's demographics. As tensions escalated, the United Nations proposed a 1947 partition plan that aimed to divide Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, with international administration over the city of Jerusalem. While the Jewish leadership accepted the plan, Arab leaders rejected it, leading to a series of conflicts. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion, the head of the Jewish Agency, proclaimed the establishment of the State of Israel. This declaration of independence occurred following the withdrawal of British forces and was met with mixed international recognition, marking the beginning of a prolonged and complex conflict. The aftermath of Israel's establishment saw a series of conflicts between the new state and the neighboring Arab countries. The First Arab-Israeli War broke out in 1948, followed by subsequent conflicts in 1956, 1967 and 1973, resulting in changing borders and ongoing regional tensions. Furthermore, foreign policy problems caused by conflicts with neighboring Arab countries took place in parallel with domestic policy problems. In fact, in 1948 itself, following the failure to create a Palestinian state, pre-existing tensions between Jewish and Palestinians increased. The latter, now integrated into the Jewish state, ended up being cumbersome presences. Some of them, around 700,000, were victims of deportations to neighboring countries. Those who remained were subjected to political and social marginalization, which over the years led to resentment and even armed resistance to the Israeli authorities, with unprecedented peaks of violence from both sides. Following the Arab rejection of the UN's 1947 partition plan, which aimed to establish separate Jewish and Arab states in Palestine, and the subsequent formation of Israel in 1948, the West Bank and Gaza Strip faced significant geopolitical changes. In the aftermath of the Arab-Israeli War of 1948, known as the First Arab-Israeli War or the War of Independence, neighboring Arab countries took control of various parts of Palestine, including Egypt's control of the Gaza Strip and Jordan's occupation of the West Bank. These territories were not incorporated into these countries, but were governed and administered separately. This situation continued until the Six-Day War of 1967, when Israel captured the West Bank and Gaza Strip, along with other territories. The Israeli occupation led to complex and ongoing conflicts with Palestinian populations in these regions. Over the years, attempts were made to negotiate a resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, including peace initiatives like the Oslo Accords in the 1990s, which led to limited self-governance for Palestinians in parts of the West Bank and Gaza. This was the result of the Second Oslo Accord of 1995, where it was envisioned to delegate the self-government of the Palestinian territories to the Palestinian National Authority formed in 1994. The West Bank was then divided into 3 zones of jurisdiction: Zone A under total control of the Palestinian National Authority, Zone B under mixed Palestinian and Israeli control, and Zone C under Israeli control. The Gaza Strip also fell under the control of the Palestinian National Authority. In 2006, however, the victory of Hamas in the Gaza Strip in the legislative elections led to a break with the Palestinian National Authority, and since then the Gaza Strip became de facto autonomous under the control of Hamas. Today, the West Bank remains a contentious region, with Israel exercising varying degrees of control, and the Gaza Strip is governed by the Palestinian political faction, Hamas, though Israel maintains a blockade. The status of both territories remains central to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and has significant implications for the prospects of a two-state solution. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict continues to be a major issue in the region, with continuous topics such as borders, settlements, security, and the status of Jerusalem remaining unresolved. The conflict has led to a cycle of violence and diplomatic setbacks, with international efforts to mediate and find a lasting solution still ongoing. In conclusion, the formation of Israel is a multifaceted historical journey marked by competing claims to the land, immigration, wars, and ongoing conflicts. The legacy of the Balfour Declaration and the unfulfilled two-state solution continue to shape the history of the region. The history of Israel's formation is a complex narrative intricately intertwined with the histories of both Israelis and Palestinians. Thank you for joining me on this historical exploration of the timeline of Israel's formation. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more enlightening content or world history. Remember to keep an open mind, as the complexities of history are never one-sided.